Don't ruin it.
Subscribe, you spaghetti noobs.
You serious?
Hey guys, SpaghettiNoob here. Today we are going over how to actually spray. As you can see, I already started spraying here. So first things first, I was not using the extension to the walls. I used the extension to the ceiling. But I found it easier with less overspray to use just the gun without the extension, the one that I got for free. So to get started, make sure you get a ladder, and what I'm actually doing is I start high on the ladder, and then I slowly go backwards down the ladder, and then as soon as I go to the bottom, I go back up, walking backwards up the ladder. I don't know if this is the most efficient way of doing it, but I found walking up and down the ladder backwards was the best way for me. And some quick tips to kind of get started: practice on a wall or an area that you don't really care about. I actually got a whole bunch of practice already, and right now I'm actually only priming this back basement wall. I wish I actually was able to record painting the ceiling, although the camera would have got a ton of overspray on it. And then painting those other walls. As you saw, some of the walls are green. Well, all the other walls are green. And then the ceiling is painted in 2 different colors. But I kind of forgot, and I was just kind of worried about getting the project finished in time. So I forgot to record those. It's also a lot harder to see priming with white, as far as like painting with an actual color that you see, but you'll be able to see it with the light, and you can actually see like the shine on it. So what you want to do is, depending on where you set the pressure at on your unit, it's a little turnstile knob, then that's how much power, or that's how much pressure the machine is going to send. And depending on the paint that you have, the primer that you have, how thick it is, you don't have to water anything down. You just adjust that little dial. So what I actually did was, the first walls that I did, that I first primed, they were terrible. And then as I got to the end, you get more practice. You start to, if anything, you start to spray better and figure out how far you need to be with what you got working with. So what I actually did was, I start about 8 inches or so, 8 to 10 inches away from the wall, and it's a bit hard to see, but you could definitely see the spray pattern that I'm doing. So I typically start from the bottom or the top. In this case it was the top, and I go down slowly. Like, you don't want to really go fast, although I think in some of the areas I go fast because I'm running out of primer, and this is a basement back wall that I'm just going to paint white anyway, just because I want to use up the remainder of the white paint that I have, only because I don't want to store it. So my objective was to kind of finish whatever I had, just so I don't have to store it. And I did so you're supposed to go a bit slow, and you go, fairly slow. It's kind of hard to explain how slow you go, but you don't want to go really fast, because you're not gonna go, because then you're not gonna get everything covered, and you don't want to go super slow, because then or super close, because what's going to happen is you're gonna leave a whole bunch of wet paint, and if you leave an excess amount, it will drip down. And if you don't catch it and don't back roll it or back brush it, then it will dry, and you'll see little drips, and I actually have that throughout the walls. And another thing that you don't want to do is, when you're using a sprayer, you want to perfect your spraying, because you don't actually want to go back with the roller or backdrop. The spray look is phenomenal, whether it's on, a back basement wall that has a whole bunch of that stupid texture that they spray on, or if you're spraying drywall or even wood. Like, it looks so much better than using a roller or a brush. Even if you're like an expert painter and you have, maybe if you're an expert it's probably a little different, but even if you think you're really good at painting and you you get the high quality rollers, you get high quality brushes. If your technique's not right, you're gonna see brush marks and roller marks. But spraying, I mean, it's the same thing with spraying, but the margin for error is far less than the margin for error on a brush or roller. Like you can start off, and then as long as you're not too close and you're going at a decent pace, you won't get any of that the brush marks or line. You could occasionally get the drip marks with too much spray, but for the most part, you can just clean that up real quick and then just do a quick spray from far away. One thing to mention too, especially when you're painting a wall such as the one I'm painting here, because you have like that basement stuff that they spray on the wall, the gun is so strong that it will actually chip off a lot of that stuff. What actually is happening over here is I ran out of paint, and that's what you can hear over there. So the machine goes into prime mode. So what I actually did was I just took a whole bunch of different primers that I used, I mixed them all in one bucket, and then I started to put the machine back through prime mode like I showed you in the quick start guide. Again, this is the bottom of the basement wall that I was just going to cover in whatever white paint that I had, and I was just trying to finish everything. So I actually accomplished my goal of finishing all my primer and all of my white paint actually. So again, just a quick recap, you want to be like 8 to 10 inches away from the wall, maybe more. Just depends on how much paint you have, how much pressure you're going to set the machine at, and then you want to go, fairly slowly all the way down. And then when you go to do your second layer, you want to overlap that first layer 1/3 to 1/2 of what you did. So if you're thinking of how to do a roller, you typically the professional way of doing it is to make the W. Right? You start with a W and then you do like a upside down W, which is an M, or just to do the backfill area, just so you're covering it once or twice, and you have a good even coat and without any lines. So it's the same concept with the sprayer. Go nice and slow, but not too slow, right? You don't want overspray. Not too close so you don't get overspray. Not too far so you don't get overspray. You just have to find the right distance that works for you with your paint, and the pressure that you set. And then you go down one line, you overlap 1/3 to 1/2, then you're evenly doing 2 coats, and you just spray. Also, another pro tip is cover yourself. Wear clothes that you don't care about. Drop cloth, everything you need a drop cloth if it's an area that you're working on. I was wearing just throwaway jeans, a throwaway hoodie, and the first day I sprayed, there was so much overspray that I went and I got some masks. I got a balaclava, and I even got goggles. I even went so far as I purchased like coveralls that basically you wear over your clothes, but I never ended up using them because I already got my clothes dirty. So I figured, whatever, I'll just return these to the hardware store and get my money back since I already got my clothes dirty. And what's crazy is even with the goggles, the mask, the balaclava, I had overspray paint inside my nose. It went through the mask. It went even through the goggles. All around my eyes I had paint. Like, it was crazy. Especially like learning this whole process. I don't know how people do this day in and day out, but I had paint everywhere. So be very careful. Make sure your mask is on right. I'd even go as far, like, I only bought like, the N95 masks that are in short supply right now. Just at the hardware store for in the paint aisle, right? But I swear the next time I use this sprayer, I'm gonna go buy one of those $30 to $40 masks that you see in like movies and comics or cartoons, where someone is spray painting, doing graffiti, and they have those crazy looking masks with like big things sticking out the side. Those things are filters. So I actually want to wear one of those proper respirator masks the next time I use this, especially if I'm gonna do a ceiling. The overspray on that was crazy. I mean, I had glasses or contacts on different days, and man, that overspray was just killer. So this is just really quick rundown of spraying and what I did and how I did it. So that's pretty much it for now. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please put them down below. I'll put all equipment links in the description. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, and have a good day.